What's up everybody, Superducks fan here for another quick drive video. So this time I'm in the Jaguar F-Pace 35T R Sport. So I'm really curious to see how this thing drives because it's Jag's first SUV here and should be very exciting to see just how it does. Now I just drove the XE with 35T, which is the sedan, of course, that was extremely lightweight, very agile in its handling, and of course this is an SUV. This has a different mission, so I'm not expecting it to be as good as the XE as far as an enthusiast standards go, but I'm still curious to see how this does. One improvement that you get here with the F-Pace is this one at least is optioned with these digital gauges, which I don't think are available in any of the XEs, unfortunately, which is a shame because these digital gauges are really slick looking and I like them a lot. But otherwise, you have the same great infotainment you get here in all the other brand new Jags with this very widescreen touchscreen display. Very nice to have that. I always appreciate when they're touchscreens instead of having to mess with a controller. But let's put this into manual mode, first gear, and give it a go. Ooh! Okay! This engine, I love this engine and everything, from the F-Type to the XE to the F-Pace here. It's fantastic in all of them. I thought that, since this is an SUV, that this would feel a lot more sluggish than the XE with the same amount of power, but not the case here. Especially with the SUV's softer spring rate here in the F-Pace. I can tell that the front end just totally lifts up and makes you feel like you're going to be doing a wheelie or something every time you stop on the gas. Which it adds to the excitement, though. I gotta hand it to them. I actually enjoy that, even though some may consider it sloppy in the way that the handling is, the spring rate is a little too soft or something, but I love it. Another acceleration. I love it, and I love this automatic too. I think it's the same ZF8 speed because it shifts nice and quick, and yeah, I mean the downshifts are a little slow. It's just like the F-Type and stuff, so it must be the same transmission, but it's it feels really good still though. I gotta say, as far as SUVs go, I'm not an SUV person whatsoever, but if you force me to drive around in this thing, I could be a lot more miserable in a lot of other crossovers and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I would say this is probably one of the most fun SUVs that I've ever driven personally, and yeah, I'm pretty impressed. I'm just so impressed with this new infotainment system too that Jag has here. It's just so high resolution, so slick looking, and just really, really well done there, and very responsive to touch as well. Toss it into a few corners here, see how it does. Alright, so you got a little bit of lean, but it does a pretty good job. So one thing I do have to say is that I have ridden in a Porsche Macan. I have not driven a Macan, but I've ridden one, and it felt like there was less body roll, and it felt a little lighter and more athletic than this does. But that is the only thing that I think this is a runner-up to. Otherwise, if the Macan was not in existence, I would say this is probably the most fun SUV I've ever been in. I just love that power plant. I love the looks as well of the F-Pace here. It's just, I think they've done a really good job. I mean, they maybe borrowed a little too heavily with the back end there from the F-Type, but hey, I love the F-Type. I'm not really complaining. I think it looks really good as an overall package as well. And again, as far as SUVs go, I still feel like you're kind of limited with what you can do with an SUV. And so, Jag has done a very good job here with making this distinctive, yet still, very appealing to just about everyone. I think it's a very attractive design. Go for another acceleration here. Yeah, this thing, I mean, it's properly quick for an SUV, and I just love that soundtrack. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're in, that soundtrack always sounds good regardless of the car. I love this engine. Oh yeah, I'm really into the F-Pace here. I think if they did like a sportier, F-Pace S, which I'm sure they will do, and probably an F-Pace R or something like that, but if they did stuff like that, that would probably be the one to get, for me, if I wanted an SUV, of course, with a little bit of a stiffer, flatter handling suspension setup. I think that would make this like perfect. Aside from that, the body roll and the lean that you get with most SUVs, it's just awesome. I absolutely love everything about it. I love the interior. I love the packaging, you know, the dimensions of it. It's not too big, not too small, very usable, and just a really great size too. And visibility and everything is good too, so it's easy to drive. And yeah, just a really well done SUV. And if this and the XE are the things that Jag has to build to stay in business so they can keep making F-Types, totally fine by me. I mean, this thing is still plenty of fun, something that Jag should be proud of. It's not a compromise. Just because SUVs are hot right now and they're building one doesn't mean that they should be scorned for it. This thing is really still a Jag at heart, and just still has that fun character, that sportiness to it, and that aggression as well. And I just love how different it is from the other boring, bland crossovers out there. It's just very refreshing. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on the F-Pace here, and thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.